beloved chosen one. At this very hour, the eyes of many nations turn toward Nepal, sensing tremors not only of earth and street, but also of spirit and destiny. News headlines may speak of unrest, crowds, or disruption. Yet beneath those headlines, there is another story, quieter but far more powerful, unfolding in ways that few can see. In every age, when a nation passes through upheaval, there is also a hidden movement of renewal. It is not a movement born of governments or slogans. It rises from the hearts of people who decide to hold on to hope instead of fear, to compassion instead of anger, and to unity instead of division. Within the next 48 hours, a window of possibility opens over Nepal and over all who are connected to its people. This window does not belong to politics or to violence. It belongs to the unseen currents of protection, provision, and opportunity that flow when individuals lift their eyes above chaos. The words you are hearing now are not meant to predict calamity, but to prepare you for clarity. When the noise around you increases, the still small voice of wisdom becomes more precious. When the ground shakes, it is not only buildings that tremble, but also illusions, and what is true remains. You are hearing this message because something inside you is already awake. Whether you live in Nepal or pray for it from afar, your role as a chosen one is not about superiority. It is about sensitivity. You feel the weight of events before others do, and you are invited to respond not with panic, but with presence. In times like these, the world needs people who can stand in the gap, who can breathe peace into rooms filled with tension, who can offer a word of encouragement when neighbors are discouraged, who can believe in the possibility of blessing even when circumstances suggest otherwise. This introduction is a call to notice the signs of shifting energy, not as omens of doom, but as signals of preparation. In the same way that the soil must be broken for a seed to be planted, disruption can precede transformation. Within the next 48 hours, as headlines rise and fall, an unseen hand is at work preparing opportunities for safety, for community, for creative solutions, and for a rebalancing of wealth and resources. You are called not only to witness it, but to take part in it, to be a living sign of what is possible when faith and courage meet in the midst of uncertainty. Chosen one, when a nation enters a moment of upheaval, the visible signs often look like crowds, protests, shortages, or uncertainty. Yet the invisible signs, the ones that matter most to the spirit, appear quietly. They show themselves in the way neighbors begin to share what little they have, in the way strangers protect each other, in the unexpected generosity of a shopkeeper, or in the sudden desire of a community to pray, meditate, or gather in peace. These are not headlines, but they are signals that something deeper is moving beneath the surface. In Nepal right now, there are outward images of struggle, but there are also subtle patterns of renewal. You may notice more conversations about fairness and unity, more young people volunteering, more elders sharing wisdom, more calls for reconciliation than for revenge. These are the early blossoms of transformation. Like green shoots breaking through cracked earth, they appear fragile at first, but they are evidence that life is stronger than disruption. This is why you are being told of a blessing of safety and a shift of wealth, not because money will fall from the sky, but because hearts and hands are aligning in new ways that create new opportunities. Another sign is within you. If you have felt a restless stirring, a sudden compassion for people you have never met, a desire to act or to pray or to give. That is part of the signal. The blessing is not only external, it begins as an inner orientation. In times of chaos, people can be pulled either into fear or into service. The chosen path is the latter. When you choose to embody calm, generosity, and hope, you become an instrument of the unseen movement already underway. Understand also that a shift of wealth is not merely the transfer of coins. It can be the transfer of knowledge, of skills, of networks, of creative solutions that lift whole communities. Safety, too, may come not just from walls or soldiers, but from relationships, from mutual care, from the realization that one person's well-being is tied to another's. These meanings may not be obvious to the untrained eye, but to the chosen one they are clear. Disruption can be the plowing of the field. Cooperation can be the planting of seeds. And in due time, abundance can rise where scarcity once ruled. So as you look at the news or walk your streets, train your eyes to see these quieter signs. They are not less real for being subtle. They are the evidence that the promise of the next 48 hours, the blessing of safety and the shift of wealth, is already beginning in the hearts and actions of ordinary people. Recognizing these signs is your first act of readiness. Chosen one, when we speak of a blessing of safety and a shift of wealth in the coming hours, we are not promising magic or instant riches. We are naming a movement that is already forming, a movement of protection, provision, and opportunity that begins in hearts and spreads outward into communities. The blessing of safety is the invisible shield that rises when people choose empathy over hostility, when they create networks of care, when they open their homes, share food, watch over each other's children, or simply stand together in quiet courage. Safety is not always the absence of danger. Sometimes it is the presence of people who will not let danger have the final word. In the same way, the shift of wealth does not always appear as coins or banknotes. It appears as doors opening where there were only walls, as knowledge being shared across boundaries, as skills being taught to the next generation, as creative solutions that generate new livelihoods. When power structures tremble, there is also a chance for redistribution, not only of resources, but of hope, dignity, and voice. Those who once felt forgotten can find new strength. Those who once hoarded can discover generosity. This is a spiritual and social rebalancing, and you are invited to see it not with suspicion, but with expectation. Your role as a chosen one is to align yourself with this movement. In the next 48 hours, be alert for small opportunities to protect someone, to share something, to teach, or to learn. Blessing is often disguised as a simple act of kindness that sets off a chain reaction. The shift begins not in parliaments or palaces, but in kitchens, marketplaces, temples, and streets. In the places where ordinary people decide to live differently. As these choices multiply, the energy of blessing gathers strength, and what was once fragile becomes unstoppable. Understand also that blessing is reciprocal. As you extend safety to another, you participate in creating your own safety. As you contribute to a shift of wealth, by mentoring, by giving, by investing your time, you also open channels for provision to flow back to you in unexpected ways. This is not a bargain. It is a law of sowing and reaping. Seeds planted in compassion yield harvests of resilience. Seeds planted in service yield harvests of opportunity. So do not wait for some dramatic sign to fall from the sky. Look for the quiet openings around you. In the next 48 hours, your small choices can become part of a much larger blessing. You are not a spectator. You are a participant in the safety and the shift that are already on their way. Chosen one, a blessing becomes real. It meets a prepared heart. The next 48 hours are not a time to panic, but a time to position yourself. Preparation in this moment is not about hoarding or hiding. It is about centering your mind, ordering your priorities, and opening your hands. You are invited to stand like a lighthouse in the middle of a storm, steady, visible, offering guidance to others. First, prepare inwardly. Begin each day with a moment of stillness, prayer, meditation, or deep breathing. Speak words of calm over yourself and your household. When the noise of rumors grows, choose the discipline of listening more and reacting less. A clear, steady spirit will help you recognize opportunities and avoid traps. Remember, fear clouds judgment. Peace sharpens perception. Second, prepare outwardly. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly, the sick, or those who are alone. Offer to share food, water, or information. Create small circles of trust. People who agree to look out for one another, to communicate honestly, and to act quickly if someone is in need. Safety is built one relationship at a time. Third, prepare mentally for the shift of wealth. Ask yourself, what skills can I learn or teach? What ideas can I share? What resources can I steward wisely? The coming shift favors those who are ready to adapt, collaborate, and innovate. Instead of clinging to what is passing, open your hands to what is emerging. Write down your ideas, make a simple plan, and be ready to act when an opening appears. Fourth, guard your words. In times of tension, gossip and panic can spread faster than any physical threat. Choose speech that builds rather than destroys. Encourage others instead of frightening them. Share information only when it is verified. This is how you help create an atmosphere of safety even before circumstances change. Finally, remember that preparation is not a burden, it is a gift. When you prepare, you reduce fear for yourself and for those around you. You become a source of calm in uncertainty. You are not preparing because disaster is inevitable. You are preparing because opportunity is near. The unseen blessing of safety and the shift of wealth. Look for people who are ready to carry them. In the next 48 hours, let your home, your heart, and your hands be ready. Chosen one, you have heard the context. You have seen the signs. You have been invited into the blessing and given instructions to prepare. Now, the moment arrives to bring it all together. The next 48 hours are not just a countdown on a clock. They are an opening of possibility. You stand at the edge of a threshold where fear and faith meet, and your choices tilt the balance. Take a final deep breath and remember this: you are not powerless, and you are not alone. Even in times of unrest, there is an invisible network of goodwill linking you to others who are also awake. As you move through your day, carry with you the awareness that every word you speak, every act you choose, every thought you nurture becomes part of the larger pattern shaping the outcome. This is not pressure, it is privilege. To live consciously at such a time is a gift. In the coming hours, stay anchored in calm and hope. Look for small ways to demonstrate safety, generosity, and creativity. Bless someone with your attention, your time, your knowledge. If you see a door opening, a chance to collaborate, to learn, to serve, step through it with courage. If you sense fear rising, pause and breathe. Remind yourself of the unseen hand that steadies you. As you do this, you will not only protect your own spirit, but also amplify the blessing moving through your community. Remember, the prophecy of a blessing is not fulfilled by waiting passively, but by participating actively. The shift of wealth and blessing of safety are already in motion. Your role is to help give them form. Plant seeds of kindness, build bridges of trust, and speak words that calm storms. In doing so, you create the conditions for transformation long after the 48 hours have passed. Finally, let this be your call to action. Be the sign you are looking for. When others look for evidence that hope is real, let them find it in you. When children wonder whether they will be safe, let your presence answer them. When neighbors doubt that change is possible, let your actions testify otherwise. You are not merely a recipient of a message. You are a living message, a chosen one carrying light into shadow. As you close this time of listening and begin this time of doing, hold fast to this truth. Blessing follows readiness, and readiness begins now.